Hey, so today I want to do some Advent of Code stuff because apparently I'm too dumb to ride a mountain bike and injured my shoulder. So I got a lot of spare time at the moment and can't do anything too fancy. So I thought we'd do some Advent of Code stuff. I already did 2022 that year, 2021 as well. 2020 is also done, and I started 2019 back in the day. But I thought, why not start with the first advent of code, which was 2015, if I'm correct. I already did the first one in 2015, but let's quickly start over. So I bootstrapped a Swift project I usually use. So it's basically a command line application where I can run and say which day and whatever it should run. Can specify here 1 means day one, and let's just add day one part one. Let's just add -t, so it actually uses the test input. Then basically in here it just loads the day I implemented. I have to enter them by hand. At some point I might change that. Could be automated. Yeah, so there's the day part. Nothing too fancy. Just focus on here. So basically I got an input. I specify it's day one. That's the test string that we will use, and here's some helper to actually load the input. All right, so let's see. We can gather 50 stars if we do everything by December 25th. Each part gives 1 star. Here's a quick one to warm up. So center is in a large apartment, can't find the right floor. You got a little confusing. Starts at floor 0 and follows the instruction. Opening parenthesis, up 1 floor, closing parenthesis, down 1 floor. It's very tall, blah, doesn't matter. So here's some example. Let's just use that one for our tests. We should get 3 out of it. Okay, so basically what we could do is just say our result is equal to 0, or a floor is equal to 0. Basically, what floor? Yeah, we need to know. So we could say for char in input, switch char case. So basically we're checking what's the next, what each character is. If there's nothing, or if it's not a parentheses, we just break. If it's an open one, we increase floor, and here we say minus equals 1, and we can just print the floor. Let's see what happens. We should get 3, we got 3. Now we already got the test input, so we already got the input specified, so let's just quickly remove it. Run it, 280, still valid. You could also do it with a reduce, or like with a higher order function. You could just say result is equal to input reduce, start with 0, and then use the same logic we did here. Instead we just say here we return partial result plus 1, return partial result minus 1, default return partial result. It depends what something is we're missing it. Yeah. So we could print the result it's still 280. Depends a bit what you want to achieve, and what you prefer. Some people prefer loops, some people prefer higher functions. Let's just stick with a loop. So we got the loop here. Now part 2, same instruction. We should find the first position of, or the position of the first character that causes him to enter the basement. So basically, the instruction at position 1. Okay, so it's 1 index, not 0 index. That's something we need to be careful of, but we can basically just reuse what we had in part 1. Floor is equal to 0. What we need now is we need to have the index, because that's what matters in, we say input.enumerated. Okay. Now we have the same as before. We can now just check if floor is less than 0. Print index plus 1, since it's 1 space 1, not on 0. That's it. Then we could just break, and we are done, if I'm correct. Let's see the example. Let's use that example for it. Just set that as the example. Oh, come on. Then let's run part 2, test data, see what happens. 5, that's what we expect. So we change that to the original 1797. So that's basically what we got. So, all right, that's my solution for day 1. Thanks for joining. See you at day 2.